दोस्तों कल यूएन के अंदर एक राउंड टेबल टॉक्स के दौरान हमारे पड़ोसी भिखारिस्तान को बजा दिया गया है, धो दिया गया है, इसकी गंदी वाली बेइज्जती कर दी गई है, वो भी लगभग पूरी दुनिया के सामने। हालांकि पाकिस्तान के लिए बेइज्जती होना कोई भी नई बात नहीं है, बड़ी बात नहीं है। बड़ी बात यह है कि ये बेइज्जती करने वाला कोई और नहीं, हमारा अपना जिगरी, हमारा दोस्त, हमारा परम मित्र यानी कि इजराइल है।
Speech I stick to the facts, and the fact is that Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan. They are treated like celebrities. The question asked was not why target a terrorist on foreign soil. No one asked that question. The question was why was a terrorist given shelter at all? They put their own people in harm's way, then cry crocodile tears when civilians are hurt.
दरअसल कल यूएन काउंसिल में, कल यानी कि जब आप ये वीडियो देख रहे होगे उसके हिसाब से परसों एक बैठक चल रही थी जिसमें टेररिज्म पर बातचीत हो रही थी, जिसमें फिलिस्तीन पर बातचीत हो रही थी। अपना मुद्दा रखते हुए पाकिस्तान ने इजराइल को एक एग्रेसर देश बता दिया, आतंकवादी देश बता दिया और इजराइल के जैसा ही हिंदुस्तान को भी बताने की कोशिश करने लगा। हालांकि जब इजराइल का नंबर आया तब इजराइल ने इसकी बैंड बजा दी। हालांकि कई पाकिस्तानी अपने मालिकों को, अपने देश को बचाने के लिए दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इजराइल ने पाकिस्तान को सॉरी बोला है। पाकिस्तान के जवाब के बाद इजराइल की हालत खराब हो गई, पर ये जाहिल इतना भी नहीं जानते कि यूएन काउंसिल में पहले पाकिस्तान ने अपना पक्ष रखा था, उसके बाद में इजराइल का नंबर आया। इसका मतलब ये होता है कि पाकिस्तान ने जो जो आरोप लगाए होंगे इजराइल ने उन सब का जवाब दिया होगा, उनके बारे में ही बोला होगा, पर ये बात इनको समझ नहीं आएगी क्योंकि ये लोग स्कूल नहीं बल्कि मदरसे वाले हैं और मदरसों की दुनिया वैसे ही चपटी होती है। वाकई किस तरह से इजराइल ने आज पाकिस्तान की बैंड बजाई है, पॉइंट टू पॉइंट धोया है, आप खुद देखिए।
And in our view it is unacceptable, indeed ludicrous for an aggressor, an occupier, a serial violator of UN Charter and international law, that is Israel. President, but that's not at all surprising. It is an occupier that does not listen to anyone, that does not pay heed to any advice, even from its friends. Israel also chose to refer to an unrelated incident and make misleading remarks regarding Pakistan in an effort to justify its own illegal actions and violations of international law.
When bin Laden was eliminated in Pakistan, the question asked was not why target a terrorist on foreign soil. No one asked that question. The question was why was a terrorist given shelter at all? The same question must be asked today. There was no immunity for bin Laden, and there can be no immunity for Hamas. And in facing terror, history shows that members of this council have done the very same. From 2014 to 2022, France struck terrorists in Mali, Chad, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania. In 2014 and 2015, the United Kingdom carried out airstrikes in Iraq and Syria against ISIS. So I ask, if these actions were justified then, why is Israel singled out now? Why are claims concerning sovereignty invoked only against Israel and ignored when others act to defend themselves? Is Israeli blood worthless? The question to ask is not why Israel targets the mastermind of terror, but why they are sheltered abroad, while hostages starve in captivity and Gazans are left to suffer. Israel's fight is not only Israel's. It is a fight of all who believe in democracy against those who worship death and violence, light against darkness, civilization against barbarism, justice against terror. We will continue until the hostages are free, until our people are safe, and until terror can no longer find sanctuary in any corner of the world, because there is no, and there never will be, immunity for terrorists.
Israel also chose to refer to an unrelated incident and make misleading remarks regarding Pakistan in an effort to justify its own illegal actions and violations of international law. Pakistan's position on that incident has been clearly stated and is publicly available. The international community is well aware of Pakistan's frontline role and sacrifices in the international community's fight against terrorism. The entire world, including our partners, acknowledge that Al-Qaeda was largely decimated due to Pakistan's counterterrorism efforts. And we remain committed in this global, collective endeavor. And we cannot accept insinuations from an irresponsible rogue state that is, in fact, the perpetrator of worst kind of state terrorism that we are witnessing in Gaza and, in fact, in the occupied Palestinian territories for decades. And we reject any false analogy, as has also been done by Qatar. For whatever way it interprets the statements in this council, the occupying power must go back and read carefully the statement issued by the Security Council today. And let me read it out loud here. A statement that normally should have been stronger, but nevertheless it has been unanimously adopted by the Council. The members of the Security Council expressed their condemnation of the recent strikes in Doha, the territory of a key mediator, on 9 September. They expressed deep regret at the loss of civilian life. Council members underscored the importance of de-escalation and expressed their solidarity with Qatar. They underlined their support for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Qatar in line with the principles of the UN Charter. Council members recalled their support for the vital role that Qatar continues to play in mediation efforts in the region and alongside Egypt and the United States. Council members underscored that releasing the hostages, including those killed by Hamas, and ending the war and suffering in Gaza must remain our priority. In this regard, they reiterated the importance of the ongoing diplomatic efforts of Qatar, Egypt, and the United States, and called for the parties to seize the opportunity for peace. That is why we are here this afternoon in this council. I thank you.
You know, if the distinguished colleague from Pakistan wanted to read the statement, he could have done it at the beginning of the session. But I want to refer to your words. You know, maybe you got offended from the word of my speech, and I apologize for that. But I make sure that in my speech I stick to the facts. And the fact is that Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan, and no one condemned the US. And when other countries in this council attack terrorists, no one condemns them. And that is the issue of double standards. When you apply different standards on Israel, then the standard you apply on yourselves, that is the problem of this institution. So yes, you cannot change the fact that 9/11 happened, and today we mark this day. You cannot change the fact that Osama bin Laden was in Pakistan and he was killed on your territory. But I would ask you, when you criticize us, and I'm sure it will continue in the future, think about the issue of double standards, which standards you apply to your country and which standards you apply to Israel.
इसराइल और पाकिस्तान की डिबेट का ये वीडियो DWS न्यूज के ऑफिशियल चैनल पर अपलोडेड है, जिसका लिंक मैंने नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दिया। आप चाहें तो पूरा वीडियो भी देख सकते हैं। इसमें कहीं भी पाकिस्तान को इसराइल के बाद बोलता हुआ नहीं दिखाया गया। सिर्फ इसराइल ने ही पाकिस्तान को धोया है, इसराइल ने ही पाकिस्तान की लगातार बैंड बजाई है। पर ये पाकिस्तानी खुश ऐसे हो रहे हैं जैसे इन लोगों को जाने कौन सा बड़ा अवार्ड मिल गया है, जैसे इसराइल इन लोगों के पैरों में गिड़गिड़ा रहा है, माफिया मांग रहा है। खैर, बोलने से अगर कुछ भी हो सकता तो राहुल गांधी आज की डेट में हमारे देश का प्रधानमंत्री होता, और आरोप लगाने से अगर कुछ भी सच हो जाता तो चारा चोर लालू नहीं बल्कि PM मोदी होते। बाकी आप लोग इस बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, कमेंट कर जरूर बताएं। जल्द मिलते हैं किसी नए वीडियो में नए टॉपिक के साथ। तब तक गुड बाय, नमस्कार, जय हिंद।